This is the third time we used cheat code rail. The first time was in Norway to dodge the heavy rain. Second time was in Poland because we couldn't get to the trail of the eagle's nests fast enough. So what's up? Are we in a hurry again? Well, maybe a little.
It's complicated.
Yesterday we booked a flight to South Korea on the 4th of October, giving us the ideal weather to explore the country. It's official. In 18 days we are flying out of Sofia in Bulgaria, which is around 800 kilometers from here. Not an unreasonable distance to cover in the time we have, but we have no desire to rush through any more countries. It needs to be about the journey. And once we arrive in Sofia, well, there's a number of things we need to do to prepare ourselves and the bikes for the flight. Bubble wrap. But that's a story for episode 13. Taking this train from Budapest to the city of Szeged, right by the border to Serbia, cuts around 150 kilometers out of the equation and gives us a bit of overhead. Hungary seems to have a hard time letting us go though. First we have to wait out a super cold morning, and then we're attacked by the thickest mud we have ever seen. It's gravel bikes, it's not mud bikes. Rendering the bikes completely useless. It's actually not possible. So we end up turning around and going a different direction. I think we're pretty close to the Serbian border now.
We got a stamp.
I should have done this yesterday. I mean, that was like a solid crust of mud. The Serbs use a mix of local dinars, euros and occasionally credit cards. Coffee, apparently, is traded exclusively using dinars. So when our first attempt at buying a cup of coffee using euros was about to fail, enter friendly local Serbian man. He just went in there and said he would like to pay for our coffee. We offered him euros, but he no, I just want to pay for your coffee.
Really kind.
The risk of caffeine withdrawals is a real thing, so we make sure to get some local currency. How much money?
Just 8,000.
8,000 money. The Serbian weather is as welcoming as the people. Not only is it a stunner of a beautiful day, still got the crazy tailwind. We're going 35 at little effort. We give day number 80 the highest possible rating. 10 out of 10. We would go again, and we will recommend our friends to try out day number 80. What we don't know at this glorious point in time is that in 2 days we're gonna face the most difficult situation on the trip so far. Something we'll talk about for years to come, and probably for the rest of our lives. All packed up, and now it started to rain. I think we're gonna wait a couple hours, see if it stops. We are around 150 kilometers from the place where we crossed the border from Hungary. Our plan is to ride across Serbia and cross the border to Bulgaria down by the city of Vlasotince, where only a small mountain range separates the two countries. 1 cup of coffee has passed and the rain has eased off, so we hit the road. Half an hour later, it feels like we're the ones about to get hit. Apparently, 1 in 2 Serbian adults are wannabe race drivers. In a moment though, we're gonna do a right-hand turn and life is gonna be better. Yeah, we're going to crank up the route planning effort again. We'll do close to anything to avoid going on those big main roads. That's a good amount of sheep coming up there. Let's see how this goes. Thank you.
I read online when I was a kid that if you blow with your nose into their nostrils, it will feel like we're talking to each other. It's like it's working. Met this really awesome guy who offered us coffee, and then he brought this to the table as well.
Yeah. In 2.5 days, we have seen more dogs here in Serbia than we have in 10 countries over the course of almost 3 months. And most of them seem to be homeless.
Hello. Dobrodošli u Srbiju. Welcome to Serbia.
These guys are the ones who offered us coffee and chocolate yesterday. They run the place where we have spent the night, and they have rescued this cute little Wienermut from the streets. We asked them what's going on with all the dogs. While there's no one simple answer to that question, the first one we get is pretty heartbreaking. Apparently, some people leave their dogs behind if they move to a new city. And if a dog for some reason is not wanted anymore, some people drive them to a different city, up on a mountain or out in the middle of nowhere, and just leave them behind. All of them are good dogs. There's no bad tempers. They're not aggressive and they don't bite. Almost all of them are used to being around humans. And they're all hungry and in desperate need of attention. The collars some of them are wearing doesn't necessarily mean they belong somewhere. Whoever left them behind was probably just indifferent enough to leave it on. By the looks of it, this little lady has puppies somewhere here at the cemetery. She's such a sweet and gentle dog. It's hard to understand what she have done to deserve being abandoned like this. Again and again, we have to talk each other out of just bringing them all with us.
We are back by der schöne blaue Danube.
The Danube is really more like a nice and hazy green today. But regardless of color, it's a real treat to spend most of the day riding by this mighty river.
That's the city we're going to.
Google Translate is a lifesaver. Some places you can kind of figure it out.
But this is a completely different alphabet. We have zero chance of figuring this out. So thank you, Google Translate. You helped us choose wisely. Just woke up.
There you go.
The weather don't seem to really turn. We get some sun and then it starts to rain again, and then we wake up the next morning and the forecast changed and it's gray again. I think we're both wishing for some sun, just some goddamn sun. Like back in Poland, we would wake up every morning and one day would be more sunny than the other. But that's the name of the game.
Today's the day. We are riding 90 kilometers to the city of Jagodina. Before we make it that far though, we're gonna stop dead in our tracks. And our priorities for the time being are gonna change drastically.
This place is gloriously chaotic. Holy fucking idiot. What it's saying is, we're gonna go straight on this freaking road for 67 kilometers. These people are not used to having tourists come around here.
We stop in the next town over and celebrate the sheer straightness of our day with a second breakfast.
The nice old guy. He wanted to pay and he wouldn't let me pay.
These people are the nicest in the world.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Whoa.
Sun's out. We are coming up on one of the highlights of the day. For the first time in 75 kilometers, we have now turned left. I found 4 very, very small puppies in the middle of the road. I have no clue what to do about this. So we had 10 kilometers left when we saw those 4 puppies lying by the side of the road. They're so young. I think they're very hungry. So we raced the last 10 kilometers uphill, downhill, into the city. I got the 4 puppies in my backpack. They are getting warm by our loose sleeves and a buff and a woolly shirt. That's fucking insane. They're crying.
When we get to the city, we ask some locals to help us find the way to a veterinarian. When we get there, they say they can't do anything for the puppies. They suggest we go to a dog shelter outside of the city, and they help us write posts in Serbian on local Facebook groups in hopes of finding someone who can adopt the dogs there.
Eventually, we left with the puppies in a box and went to the place we're gonna live.
We asked the guy who's running the guest house how we can get to the dog shelter, and it turns out he's an absolute champ. He takes us there in his car while chanting, "Let's save puppies, let's save puppies." The shelter, unfortunately, is not a great place.
Way too many dogs on way too little space. And there was no one there, so we couldn't even ask them if they had a mama dog for the puppies.
On the way back to the apartment, we buy some formula so we can feed the hungry little fellas.
And we spent a good 2-3 hours lying on the bed with puppies by our necks. And eventually, after they got some food, they fell asleep. Then they got warm, and when we found them in the gutter, they were cold, like really, really, really cold.
On Facebook, a lot of people are sharing our posts and they're trying to help out, but no one is able to take them in.
And there's no way in hell we'll be allowed to bring 4 small dogs on a flight to Korea.
So the vet is our last resort. They close at 8 p.m.
So around 6 we went back there and told him we didn't have a solution. And one of them brought out the needle, put it on the table, and for some reason the other one asked if we'd fed them, and yeah, we fed them, and he started feeding them, telling us how to mix the food, and he did a better job than we did, and they actually ate even more, and once they got some more food, they completely fell asleep on both of us. We had 2 each.
And we just sit like that in the waiting room for maybe an hour, not sure what's going to happen.
But finally, it checked out. And one of the vets, the one without the needle, said that he was going to take them. So that was not just great, that was like hell of a lot beyond great.
We can only speculate as to how our 4 small friends ended up by the side of a road on a mountain outside the city of Jagodina. Someone probably found that they didn't want to take care of them, and instead of trying to find them a new home, they drove their car up on the mountain, opened the passenger door and threw them into the gutter. These little fellas got grit though, and by the time we came by, they had almost made their way back onto the road. In this village, the dogs seems to have unionized, and most of them live in this pack, occupying a street corner next to the local market.
We feel a bit heavy after the puppy drama.
These small mountain roads are the best.
The best way to cope with our post-puppies blues is to feed as many dogs as we possibly can.
120 Serbian dinars for 1 kilogram.
If we could feed every single homeless dog in the world every day for the rest of our lives, believe you me, we would. Oh, and by the way, have you ever noticed that dog spelled backwards is God? Coincidence? I don't think so.
It's basically gonna be uphill for the next 20 kilometers. Got the wind straight in the face, and it's uphill. And we're both probably dehydrated. Most must needed water ever.
And now